Today on Maintenance Minutes, we're going to go over lubing a chain. Now, before we get into that, we're going to cover the different types of lube quickly. So there's three basic types. There's a wax lube, a dry lube, and a wet lube. And each has pluses and minuses like everything in life. So the wax lube is nice in that it keeps your drivetrain very clean. However, it doesn't last very long. The dry lube is a nice compromise in that you get pretty good mileage out of it, at least 100 miles in the dry conditions. And you know, it's a pretty clean lube. And on the other end, we have the wet lube, which will last a long time. However, it gets very dirty. So for most types of riding, what we actually recommend is just a dry type of lube. Now we're showing a product from Finish Line today. However, many companies make one, and they're all pretty similar. All right. So before we lube our chain, the first thing we want to do is kind of either lean the bike up, kind of with the wheel turned in the way it leans, or most places you can pick up a handy stand like this for 10 bucks. And what it does is just allow easier access to the chain. So the first step is to actually take a rag, an old shirt, sock, whatever, and we're going to start to just take the bulk dirt that's stuck on the chain off. So, you know, if you think of the chain having 4 sides, I'm literally grabbing all 4 sides at the same time, and I'm going to roll through, just kind of pinching it off, getting the dirt off. Don't neglect your derailleur pulleys, so you can kind of pinch those off between a finger and a thumb. Remember, there are 2 of them. You can also kind of wipe off your favorite chain ring. This is where saving an old toothbrush sometimes comes in handy for something like that. Now, all lubes, regardless of style, actually have a detergent in there. So the first thing we're going to do is take advantage of that detergent. So we're going to drip a line of lubricant on. You'll see the wet streak come back. We're going to let that kind of roll in for about a minute. We're letting it sink into between the pins and the plates of the chain. The next thing we're going to do is take our rag again, wipe the chain off one more time just like we did in the beginning, and we're now getting off even more dirt using that detergent that's in there. Finally, we're going to put on the lubricant that's going to stay on the chain. Again, that's one more line of lubrication on there. Let that roll in and let it sit. Now this lube goes on as a liquid, obviously, and sets up to a dry film, so it needs some time to dry off. So we're not going to do this and go ride straight away. We're going to let it dry up for a few hours. And then once it has dried, you can actually wipe some of the excess off one more time, and you're good to go.